Whoa, what's going on? I, it looks like your boy is solo. My man Sugarfoot is handling business down wherever he's handling business. I don't ask too many questions because I don't want him asking questions when I'm not here. So, this is season 3, episode 28. It's your boy V Styles. We're in the house. As I tweeted out, it looks like we're home alone. And hopefully I can hold the fort down for an episode by myself. We shall see. So look, this is a day if you want to interact, join on in. We're going to, I don't know if I can end the frustration. I don't know if I can make you feel better. I'm not sure what I can do to make you feel better about the offense, but I'm going to try my best. And with all that said, I sent out a tweet today. I can't remember. What's up, Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones, your boy is balling. I'm gonna say that your boy is straight getting it done. I sent out a tweet today. I sent out a couple of tweets. I'm very fortunate that I can work from home and I can sit in front of this laptop all day and interact with BBN as much as I can. I sent out a tweet. My question really is this. Are our fans ready for a scheme that is more passing than running? Our success since Grant has come on board has been primarily ground and pound. With a sprinkle of Steven Johnson throwing the deep ball, T-Dub throwing the deep ball and beat the opponent with his legs. But with Lynn Bolton running quarterback. We've been heavy run. We've been 5-minute offense for the whole game almost. Not just trying to take the air out the ball at the end of the game. We've been 5-minute offense primarily for the entire game. Are we ready? And not complain so much about the rushing game. Because what if we only rush the ball? I mean, I guess, let's say you go 25 times for 85 yards. 25 times 85 yards. That's a little bit over 3 yards a carry. Not quite 4. Are you okay with that? Because I think there's a big piece of BBN that's not okay with that because we're not used to winning that way. I'm not sure in the current situation how many more yards would we have had if C-Rod was playing? Because C-Rod's a good back. And I wish Anthony was on so we can go back and forth on this. Because we have talked about C-Rod a lot. C-Rod is a good back. But I might show that too. I threw on the Iowa game today. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to find it while I'm talking. I threw on the Iowa game. And I wanted to see. Because that was some talk about how we didn't block so well in the Citrus Bowl. But I think that was more run blocking. I'm not sure that was all I mean, that was pass blocking. I'm not sure that was run blocking. And then I went back and I looked and I looked. And I don't want to show the whole game. Let's see if I can find it. But I'm going to pull up, if I can find it, the first series. And in that first series, when I find this thing and throw this thing up real quick, you tell me if we have had holes like this year. And we have not had many holes where C-Rod, I mean, that Smoke or Lavelle Wright got to the second level untouched. Let me see if I can see Anthony usually handles all this. Let me see if your boy can handle all this. All right. All right. Corey, man, Anthony is handling some business. He couldn't be here. Let me see if I can do. See if it'll show up. Where is Anthony? Corey, he's out of town. I don't ask too many questions. Anthony said, man, I can't be there. Can you hold down a fort? And I said, of course I can. And he's having some business. So let me throw this on real quick. First play. This was the first running play. Woo. Look at that. Look at that. That is, we done sealed all these off. Got a great kick out block. C-Rod right now has not been touched. He is 4 yards down the field. That's the first contact made. First contact made, almost 5 yards down the field. Now, that's a difference. Now, I'm going to give people that. This is a difference. The backs now are not going to fall and carry forward. He probably got, I'm going to say he got 2 more yards maybe than what we will get out of Smoke in Lavelle Wright. I'll say 1.5 yards. So instead of it being 2nd and 3, we probably 2nd and 4. Look at that. Look at this. Now this since I can do this. This is outside zone, right? Let me see. I didn't even pay attention. And we'll talk about it more because I know it's a big thing we're talking about. No, this is not zone. That's more pin and pull. That's outside zone. And here's the deal. I'm going to say it quickly. There is not that much difference for the O-line between blocking inside zone and blocking outside zone. It's not much. The difference is in the back. More of the change is on the back, not the line. This is wide zone in the bowl game. Look, that's the line of scrimmage. We wash. Look how that. And this is a pretty damn good defense in Iowa. We washed all of that. Look at that. C-Rod has not been touched. Kavase and Lavelle Wright wish that they have had what I'm showing right here. They wish they would have had this. Lavelle Wright and Smoke this year has gotten most of their yards on pin and pull outside runs. This is a wide zone. This is a great cutback by C-Rod. He found daylight. Look, 1, 3. He got touched right there. That's almost 5 yards down the field. How many times have you seen Smoke this year run a wide zone and not be touched until 5 yards down the field? Not often. See, Anthony wouldn't show this, but I'm gonna show this since I'm in control right now. USM Cat fan said, nice job on the cut-ups and breakdown this week, Van. I appreciate you, USM. I appreciate you. See, Anthony wouldn't give me all this pub. He would probably hide that. He might actually delete it so I can't see it. Look at that. Now, C-Rod already, I think that's 2 runs. He almost has 20 yards already. He's probably got right around 17 yards and 2 runs. And those are 2, I don't think they were back-to-back, but those were in succession, though. I think we had a pass play in between, but those was back-to-back run plays. The first drive. Think about that. The execution is so much better. Another wide zone. That's wide zone. That's not inside zone. That is wide zone again. And people say, oh, we didn't do that too well. Look how we gashed it. We are pushing people around right now. That's easy pickings. How many yard gain is that? Here, that's 3 here to here is 10. Shit, that's almost a 10-yard gain. C-Rod on 3 plays almost has 30 yards. Now, here's what I want to ask you. Is that all C-Rod? Is C-Rod doing something like a Barry Sanders where he's trapped in the backfield, he zigzag in a phone booth and then get up out of there and somehow, some way fake out 6 guys and he gets all those yards on his own? The O-line is providing obvious creases. Now, it's up on C-Rod to find it, but C-Rod is finding obvious creases. That's why I'm in the belief that even with probably the best back in the SEC in the backfield this year would not be a drastic change in what we have seen already. Now, this is not outside zone. This is more pin and pull action. Block down, pull the 2 uncovered linemen. Look at that. And that's the worst run. That is the worst run that I've shown in this first drive. And that's blocked pretty well. Their defensive back comes and makes that tackle. See that? That's a secondary guy. This guy right here is from the secondary. You can't block everybody. And we still get 4 yards. That's the difference. Now, this is what's so great about this. And this is why behind closed doors, Coach Stoops is licking his chops. He's licking his chops because we are winning. We beat Florida by 10 points in the damn swamp. We beat Youngstown State 31-0, shut their ass out. And he still has the ability to be pissed. That is great. As a coach, I can keep the players' ear. I can keep the players focused because they haven't come close to playing a complete game. Now, the defense hasn't come, they have come the closest to a complete game, but they still have they made some mistakes in the Florida game that they were fortunate that Florida didn't exploit. They had some issues in this game, the screenplay, some penalties. Deion Walker got a late hit. That's a freshman mistake. They had some issues in this game. So even though they are mollywopping teams, because I'm going to tell you, a 10-point win in a swamp is a mollywop for us. Because that game could have been easy. We could have easily put 30 plus on them. But because we didn't, because there's still areas to improve on, that gives the coach the ability to bring down the hammer. And think about it, he's bringing down the hammer this week to really prepare him for the next week. Because if they execute, like, I really think this is going to be the game where it all clicks for the offense. I think this is the game where the offensive line gels a little bit, because you would get that original starting five back in the fold. I think there were things on film that now they can say, hey, guys, this is not all on the front five. My running backs, y'all are missing pass protection a little bit. My wide receivers, y'all missing blocking assignments. My tight ends, y'all missing blocking assignments. Do y'all know where y'all supposed to be in certain schemes? Because you are blocking the same guy that the pulling guard is blocking. Where are you supposed to be? So he can still light up in their ass because they're not close to being even a little bit close to being perfect on offense. He can get in Will's ass for throwing ill-advised interceptions. I'm going to read this question, then I'll keep going. What do you think about coaches moving far down the field in for? Hey, this is the thing about that depth chart. Leave it alone, because you don't know. Just because Afari is listed as that, if they come out in a certain formation, Keaton Wade can get the first snap or get the first series or get the majority of the snaps, depending on how Northern Illinois attacks us. The thing about it, though, I'm not sure Afari is that much smaller than Wade. And here's the deal. If Afari is as aggressive, knows what his run fits are, which is what's a problem for most DBs coming in to play outside linebacker, is they don't understand fits because they're not used to it. So they don't understand how to fit in relationship with the inside linebacker and maybe the safety. So because of that, usually it's a little bit of a problem. But for me, what I've seen out of Afari, he doesn't have that issue. So if Afari and Wade are similar in size, similar in ability to take on a pulling guard, ability to dissect, block down, someone's probably pulling, better get your butt up there and set a hard edge. If Afari can do that just as well as Wade, it's almost beneficial to keep the DB out there because he would be better in zone coverage. If Afari can be anywhere close to Keaton Wade in the ability to fit in the run game, I would rather him out there than Wade because he's going to have a big advantage over Wade in the passing game. Normally, it's not that way. Normally, the DB playing that outside linebacker role is not going to be as efficient in the run game fit. So then teams can just run at his ass and just pound and pound and pound. But if it's not that way, it's a great advantage to keep to keep Afari there and play Wade maybe and pass him downs when or certain situation where you can rush him maybe. Corey puts UK play selection 64%. Wow. I think this year it should be at worst 40-60. 40% run, 60% pass. Now, the thing about it is C-Rod's going to be pissed off about it because he's probably not going to get that record. But he might get it because he might get bigger chunk plays. Because if we pass the ball efficiently, it works both ways. We pass the ball efficiently, they're going to have to play shell defense. They're going to maybe have to go to two high safeties. They might have to go to quarters. That takes a guy out the box. And a guy out the box makes it easier for the offensive lineman to figure out who to block to. USM Cat fan said, I don't believe C-Rod would have made him. I'm sorry. I should read it out to everybody. I don't believe that C-Rod would have been a miracle worker using the O-line of this year, but I think the results would have been better than we have seen so far. Look, a little better, but how much better? That's my question to you, USM Cat fan. How much better? These last 3 games, how many yards per game would we have more if C-Rod would have been a starter opposed to Smoke? That's my question to you, USM. And Smoke spends too much time trying. And look, here's the deal. I think you're coming with past perception of Smoke. Smoke has not danced that much this year. Smoke was a dancer. He's turned in his dancing shoes this year. He has been downhill. And sometimes I think they have coached him too much. And he might be dancing not enough. There have been some times where he could have bounced it outside like he would have done in the past, and he has something there. So I don't know. I'm not as concerned with a run pass mix as long as I agree. But the thing is, we are so accustomed to the run open up the pass. I think pass can open up the run too. It works both ways. It doesn't have to be one. It doesn't have to be run to pass. It can be pass to run. And that's an option. With the amount of talent we have and mismatch we have with the tight ends, like Bates ran that slot fade. We're booting well. We're getting guys across the middle on play action fakes. Here's the deal. You don't have to be a great running team this year to have play action fake. See, them 5 years prior, the philosophy teams come in think that they still want to run the ball. So we still got to stop the run first. And as a defense, no matter who you are, most defensive coordinators will say, first thing first, make them one-dimensional. Make them pass the ball. Because we can play some trap coverages. We can blitz, especially run a 3-4. We can do some zone. We can do some exotic things if we can stop the run. Every team comes in trying to stop the run. So those play action fakes are still going to work. Now, in the game, if you are 30 carries for 30 yards, yeah, they're going to be like, you can't handle our front, and we're just going to pay pass and not respect the play action fake. Is C-Rod going to get our running game going? Look, man, I can't lie to you, Scott. It depends. I'm going to say this. I think they're going to block better this week. I really do. I think they're going to block better this week. And I think that's going to propel them to when they go to the Grove. I think getting Manning back in the fold Horsey has played well at left tackle. I think Cox has to improve. To me, the issue is the center, and not it's all his fault, but he takes pressure off of everyone else. And we have been so spoiled with unbelievable center play that I think we have taken a step back this year. And we got to get better play out of Cox. And he was a middle of season All-American at guard. He can do it. It's just going to take him some reps. Corey said last season you could have more passes attempts than wow. 2010. What? 2010. Was that? Who was that? Corey, who was the quarterback then? Was it Toles? Or was that before him? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to read all these things. I hope that saved man. Cobby, I appreciate you. Cobby, that means not only do you watch the show, you pay attention. Yes, I hope that safety magnet has been thrown away. Before Levis last year, we ran a ton. Yeah, I would say that. We also didn't have the damn talent on the outside. Tim Tebow is not a great quarterback, but when you got the tools in the tool shed like he had, it's easy to freaking saw down a tree when you got blades that are industrial strength. It's just a difference. Bob, we have ran a lot of it. We have ran a lot of play action in boots and waggles, and we keep doing it. Now the thing about it, Youngstown State did an amazing job on the boots and waggles. Is Cox or Levis called? That's a good one. I wonder if Levis. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely transparent. As a quarterback, I want to call the protection. Because if I call it, I know where the blind spot is. I know exactly. If I slide the protection to the left, I know I got a potential of someone come out the right side, and I have to, that's my block. And I'm going to block him with getting the ball out. If I'm going to have the running back protect to the left, if I want to call my protections, not because I'm going to call the perfect protection every time. I just know where the issues are. And if the Cox is calling it, Levis is not going to hear him. So I would rather call it. If I'm a good quarterback, I want to call it. And I'm a good quarterback, I should understand what the protection game is and how to call it. Because even if Cox call it, I got to understand who is potentially a guy who can disrupt this play. Mike Hartline. Wow, that's a name. Thanks, Corey. I think we would have from the start of the season, we have 1 yard more per carry. Okay. I can buy that. I will say this. Someone said this, I can't remember where I heard it, is that we will be better in the red zone. I will give you that. C-Rod in the red zone is a handful. We would definitely be better in the red zone with C-Rod than with Smoke and Wright, because he's gonna fall forward and he's gonna push a pile and he's gonna be hard to bring down. So I can definitely, I'm down with that. So the other thing is, as I've watched these games, and every game I watch, every single one, I've come away with it with a bad feeling about the play of the O-line. But then when I look at it, I'm like, I'm not sure. They are not close to being perfect. They are not close to being what we are accustomed to seeing. No, I'm not going to lie to you and say that. But they are better than the perception. The reason why is it's kind of like when you play corner. We call zone coverage. Guy catches in front of us. The fans think, oh, it's a cornerback's fault. Why is he's not on that guy? We could be in cover 3 and giving up the flats. But to the fans, they don't know what the coverage is. They don't know the strength and the witness. They don't know that we're giving up the flat because we don't have enough people to cover every zone on the field. It's just impossible. Or they run 2 verticals in cover 2 and blah, blah, blah. There are reasons that things happen. And on the blitz, sometimes it's the offensive line's fault, and sometimes it's not. As my coach, my senior year in high school, he came from a JUCO. He was Mike Archer's GA at LSU. He was offensive coordinator at JUCO. After I left, he became offensive coordinator at Louisiana Monroe. Really good offensive coordinator. He told me, you are actually part of the protection. Your play action fakes is part of the protection. Don't get out there too quickly because you think someone's coming. The more you sell the fake, the more the defense is going to think it's a run. So sometimes Will doesn't sell the fake good enough. Sometimes Lavelle Wright, we champion him in game 1. He has missed some blocking assignments in pass pro. So I'm going to show you there were 4 sacks. We threw the ball 30-some times. There was 4 sacks, and I think Will escaped the pocket 2 or 3 times. And he escaped. He ran twice, I think, and he had the pass to Jordan Anthony, which if we would have blocked that, that would have been a walk-in touchdown. So I'm gonna play this. Now these are the 4 sacks. Okay. I'm sorry. What as long as I was trying to say last week that the red zone performance. Yep, I would agree. C-Rod doesn't fumble. Yeah, I agree. But here's the thing, USM Captain. It's kind of like fans are like coaches. Coach told me a long time ago, you players remember the good plays. Us coaches remember the bad plays. Don't have more bad plays than good plays. And I think the fans remember the bad play. They remember the fumble at South Carolina around the goal line. They remember some of these fumbles that C-Rod's had that have been a potential to cause us a game. Oh, Mike, the last time I saw Coach Archer, he was in Canada. I don't know if he's still there or not. I need to probably contact him. All right. First pass play. This is why the wide zone is such a need for us, is for this play action here. Because what happens is we fake the zone, so all these guys are flowing this way, and that's hopefully going to influence this guy to come down the line because of the play action fake. The problem is number 17 was a menace. But here's the biggest problem. This is why I just said that the quarterback is part of the protection. Watch. He puts the ball out, and look, this guy can see the damn ball. He sees the ball. He knows right now that's not a run. Look, it's no way. He sees it. He's looking right at the ball. So, for me, this is on Will. It's not on the O-line because they're not responsible for him. The O-line is supposed to flow this way. Their job is to flow this way and get all these guys to flow. Then we're going to bring him across, and we're going to go, I think he's going to go up, and then we're going to bring him in the flat. All right? We're trying to get the defense to come this way, and while they're going this way, we're leaking guys out going opposite. Okay? But with the way Will is faking, that's not good. That's not going to get it done. Okay? What he should do is turn his shoulder and get that ball closer. Turn his shoulder, block the ball, block the prize with his body. Block the ball with his body, so then it puts him in a bind. Is he giving it or is he not? That's not a great fake. That defensive end sees the ball and look at the space. Look at the space. There's space there. That's obvious that that's a fake. So that sack is not on the O-line. So that's 4 sacks. One of them is not on the O-line. I wish I had a timer. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. He had 3 seconds to throw the ball. He's got a clean pocket. No one's open. Now, he's not reading here, but that's probably his back's option. But that's a long-ass throw. He's trying to get the ball to Barry Brown, but another damn ref gets in the way. He's looking down the barrel here. Now, here's another thing that gets me. Think about this when you watch the game. See, as a quarterback, you are not supposed to watch your guys. You're not supposed to watch the guys in the blue. You're not. You're supposed to watch these guys. These guys dictate where you throw the ball. It's like, for example, I'm just going to throw this out there. That's a common play is arrow curl. And you're reading really that linebacker. If that linebacker decides to expand, you throw it here. If that linebacker sits here, you throw it there. It has nothing to do with what your guys are doing. It has to do with what the defense, you read those guys. To me, personally, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I think Will is reading more our players than dissecting where their players are. Their players will dictate who's open. So I think he's trying to get the ball to Barry Brown. The ref is there. See there? He wants to throw it to Barry Brown. And he's not open, but he's sort of open. But now he sees Jackass right there. Now he can't throw it. But with his rocket, I think there is. That's option. That's the other option. So is this on the O-line? Personally, I would say no. Because he had time to pass it. He had it. Hold on, wait. I gotta read Mike's comment. Boomer size and ball. There's been a couple. Peyton Manning has some pretty good ball fakes too. And the key about the ball fake, you want to be sleight of hand a little bit, but the key to ball fake is doing it the same way when you actually hand it off. That's the key. Making it look exactly the same. If you can make it look exactly the same, you can fool guys because they're like, oh, I've seen that. That looks like ISO. Or that looks like wide zone. Or it looks like fake toss sweep. And you really turn your... The thing about it is that's why under center is so great for the run game is because when you go back, everybody lose sight of the ball because you turn your back to the whole defense. That's also the scary part about it, because as a quarterback, you don't have sight on the defense. But you got to use that to your advantage and be patient. Like that first play, if that guy's coming, turns his shoulder and he rides him, and he comes and it's close and he rides it. So now I turn my back to the guy over there. If he does that, then I'm not sure that guy's going to come down the line, but I think that guy will hesitate. And all it takes is a hesitation. Then you can boot around him. Youngstown State did Twinsburg Tigers already have a game. I guess Ann is talking about Boomer. Yeah, and not showing the ball the whole time. That's the key to faking. You got to hide that ball. Agreed. I'm going to give you that, USM. Yes, he could have. I know they do the drill. I know they got the drill where he goes back and then he steps up. He feels they might throw some. They might have a pool noodle to make a move. His movement in the pocket and awareness needs to improve. I will say that. So that's 2 plays, right? And none of them was on the O-line. Now, come on. He had enough time to call his mom, hang on the phone, and then text his girlfriend. 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. There's more than enough time. And look who's wide open right in front of him. Right in front of him. You got to take what they give you. Take that. It's like taking candy away from the baby. And he pumped. Now, I know he ain't pumped to him. I know he pumped to this guy. But while you're looking through there, you should be able to locate him. Know who your safety valve is. That's not open. Give it to him. He still had him. Now, is that on the O-line? Look at that. They handle a stunt. This is a stunt. In, wrap around. Watch how they handle it. Horsey came off perfectly. What else do you want? Get it to him. Right there. So that's 3 out of 4. That's not on the O-line. Now, I hope you see what I'm seeing. Now, this one is on the O-line, but it's also a little tricky. Here's why it's tricky. Number 7 is lining up outside of Tavion. So this guy is lined up on Flax. That's technically his. The way they're lined up is they're trying to deke you. Here, 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 here. And then back comes, and I call it wiper. He looks left to right and cleans up anything that's there, right? So what happens is Tavion chips him there, and because he does that, this guy comes. Well, Flax sits here just in case, and then he gets out late. All right? But also, awareness. You should be able to feel him. All they had to do is step up in the pocket. This guy has no chance. He doesn't tackle him. He hits the ball. Because Flax gets a hand on him. He steps up in the pocket. There might be a chance. Now, Wilson gets beat, but at least there's a better chance than this. So, is that on the O-line? Appreciate you, Mike. I'm going to say, since this is the 4-1, I'm going to give that one on the O-line. I'm going to give that one on the O-line. But that was 4 sacks. 3 of them was not on the O-line. That was a possible one on the O-line. I said, I hope good. Yeah, me too. So I hear you, USM. So think about that. We passed the ball 30 some times. We have 4 sacks. One of them was on the O-line. All right. Now, there were 3 more plays where the O-line bust, but Will got out of it. So let's say it's about even. I think the O-line, to me, if you really think about it, played well. How many games have you seen where an offense pass the ball 30 times and gets no sacks? And this, the O-line only gave up one. And I'm not going to totally put that on the O-line, but I'm going to say that one, that last one, is on the O-line. I'm going to give that one to the O-line. But for me, I'm not sure that's on the O-line, which says something. But the narrative, and it's not false, the narrative is the O-line sucks. I'm not sure the O-line sucks. I think the O-line is just not playing to the level that we are accustomed to. I think that's really what's going on to me. So, what do you do? I think for us, the O-line is consistently inconsistent. That's all. They need to, Ann said, Ann, are you telling me to set up my notifications? Because I'm sorry, I see them, man. I'm just not good at it. This is a Sugarfoot's job, and he's the one who's very good at bringing up the things. Oh, Lacey forgot. Never mind. Bob, good. Bob played with me. Bob is a teammate. So good old Bob. Good breakdown problem. His leverage is so come in this game. He thinks he can make. Yeah. As I call it, he's got arm arrogance. He's got arm talent, and he's arrogant with it. So let me pull up this. We're gonna go inside zone, outside zone. For the offensive line, it's really not that much different. The only thing difference in inside zone and outside zone is more horizontal. They're more, if we come into the side of these areas, they're more blocking guys in their gap. But in outside zone, the running back runs at the outside hip of the tackle. In inside zone, what can happen is everything is more, as I'll call it, vertical. So you can get actually more of combo, and he gets the linebacker. Same here. If you're going that way, maybe you just seal, block out. Now that's in, but everything is going this way. So the linemen are blocking that way. So you can see it here. See how everything's going this way? So this is almost a chip. He cuts them off. Then Horse is able to get there, and he gets to the linebacker. You can see the combo here. Then they get to the linebacker, and then we got a block here. This is pretty damn good. Look at that. Now Wilson comes off on the linebacker here. We got something, right? This is perfection. This is inside zone. So I'm sorry. Then in inside zone, the path of the running back is the outside hip of the guard. That's why it's inside zone. There is really not that much difference between inside zone and outside zone for the lineman. It's just not. You block the guy who's in your gap. It's that simple. That's pretty damn good. Now, all that's got to happen is with this combo block, Cox has got to. Oops, I got it wrong. Cox has got to get this hip over here, and so he can seal. Or maybe Wilson's got to hold this a little longer to get Cox time to get here and to have that guy rope to have that guy hip go outside, so then we can seal. No, that's good timing on Cox. That's good timing on Wilson. Cox has got to come this way. That's on Cox. But that's inside zone. That's ran pretty well. Good look at that. That's what, 5-yard gain, 6-yard gain? That's pretty good. No problems there. Now, these are all the wide zone play. Now, so this is wide zone. Watch how the linemen come more this way than what we just showed, which was inside zone. See how Horsey, the only guy that went down was Burton to get that play side linebacker, but everybody's rolling downhill. Now, this is a outside zone, toss outside zone, still wide zone concept. But this is just missed blocking assignments. This got nothing to do with being mauled. I showed this already, but I'm going to show all the outside zone plays. It's all of them that I deemed as being wide or outside zone, no pin and pull. So let me go that real quick. So I hope y'all understand the difference between inside zone and wide zone. It's not that drastic of it. It is a little bit different for the O-line, but it's not drastic. It's not even a drastic departure. But that running back on wide zone has more options of holes to pick. And inside zone is between the guards. It's pretty easy. It's not easy. There's less options because you're not supposed to bounce it. In this wide zone, you can take this thing all the way to the sideline, or you can cut that thing back all the way to that hash. So that's a big difference. When in the inside zone, you pretty much stand between the guards. Maybe outside shoulder guard, inside shoulder tackle. You running definitely inside the tackle box. There's no like amazing cutback angle. Now, let me say this. I wish Anthony was here because he would be able to tell you more from a running back perspective. This is just from the foundation of the wide and inside zone. I'm sure there's some wrinkles here and there because I know my high school runs inside zone, but we run outside zone, but we can pull the guard. Like there's definitely different ways to run the outside zone. Then I'm just giving you the layman's way. So on this, why did it jump? Why does it jump on? This is just blown assignment. Like we got to get here. Oops, wrong tool. We got to block the guy in our gap. Block the guy in our gap. Now, since Burton doesn't have a gap, he can get up to the line, but there's nobody in his gap, right? And Key is supposed to dig him out. And that's been confirmed because I've heard Stoops and Skang say a receiver missed the block. This is the block right there. He's supposed to dig him out. That's why he's pulling, and that's why he's pulling. If they get that block, that's possible. That's the -4 yards. So that's on just simple blocking assignment. I don't know why this thing is glitching right now. Wide zone. Watch all the linemen flow down to the bottom of the screen. Watch, they're going to flow this way, right? They're not blocking a man. They're blocking an area. We just don't we just don't block well. This is just pure execution. We got to block better. How does Horsey let this guy get inside of him? How does Cox let this guy create a line of scrimmage on this side of the ball? Now, those two guys, look at this. Block, block, block on this side line of scrimmage. We got two guys that doesn't do their job. And guess who makes the tackle? One of their guys. Now, we still got some yards out of that. Wide zone again. I don't know why my video's glitching. Burton's got his head over his skis a little bit too much. Now, how does this guy slip out of a combo block? Riddle me that. Why is Horsey on this side of the line of scrimmage? Now, everybody's saying C-Rod can make a difference. I'm not sure. That's penetration. Tell me what C-Rod can do right there. Maybe fall down. Maybe push that pile another yard. That's still minus yards. Now, this is wide zone, but it's with more of an outside zone, but it's still zone blocking. And they do a much better job here. My software is not good today, guys. Maybe because I broadcast yesterday. It's a little glitchy. But we just got to stay on blocks. We got to stay on blocks. We are getting to our assignment. We're just not finishing the assignment. It's that simple. So that's why I really think we're going to do better now. See Flax? Flax is in good shape, but his body is not in good shape. He's in good shape. I think my program is going to bail out. But then he lets him beat him. And now that's the guy who creates the problem. It's one guy. We got this thing blocked pretty well. If you eliminate his guy, you eliminate Flax guy, good block, good block, good block. Now you got one guy in a big phone booth against Tavion Robinson. I'm putting my money on Tavion Robinson to get by this one guy. I think Tavion and him, he will beat him one-on-one. Okay? If you eliminate this one guy, we got a pretty decent run. See that? I don't think that safety makes that hit. He's already got his chin over his skis. He's going to fall to the ground anyway. This guy had no chance. And said, did Cox pull up too quick? I'm sorry, and I'm not sure exactly which play. Like I said earlier, Cox has to improve. That's really, I'm sure he did. See how that guy fell on the ground? If you had tell me Tavion Robinson couldn't beat that guy when he fell on the ground and he's not even close to him, he was falling down. See that? He's falling before the tackles made. I don't think he touched Tay. So one guy didn't finish his block. Now, was he out of place? Did he miss an assignment? No. He just didn't finish the block. Outside zone again. Now, we did pretty well on this. Now, this guy, sometimes the defense calls a blitz. Now, the thing about it, we still beat him. This is at least a 10-yard gain until we fumble. So when we run it right, when we create a crease, the running back runs through the crease, he does everything right, he fumbles. Look at, oh, did I not? Look at that. Why didn't it film the whole thing? Whatever. Hat on the hat. You can see that's hat on the hat. We're doing a good job blocking a blocking a guy in your zone, blocking a guy in your zone. We got here, and he's probably gonna get to there. We got something going, and we fumble. Man, I don't know what happened. Outside zone toss. I'm sorry, y'all. It just skipped right to the end. We got something there too. So we got like 10 yards off of that. So we have, I'm going to say our success rate 50-50, baby. Now, this to me is on the running back. In the outside zone, you have to press. You have to press the hole. You got to press. And then when you feel in daylight, then you cut back. Look how well we blocked this outside. Why did he cut in? Look at this right here. If he could get off of Flack's ass, or if Ding was able to seal, we running this corner off, he might be able to hit that damn sideline. See, that's the hard part about the wide zone is so on the running back. There was no daylight there. You got color right here. There's no color right here. I don't see the daylight he sees. And so he just ran into it, but he still got a pretty good chunk of yards. So I hope you understand the wide zone and inside zone. Inside zone to me is more going up the field. Your cutback is a little shorter. It's almost like a gap scheme. So I don't know if you guys play Little League where it's like, boom, it's obvious where I'm running to the A gap. Coach say run between the guard and the center. I'm running between the guard and the center. In a wide zone, you can go from A gap to B gap. And sometimes you go to C gap. So you have options. You can go play side or you can cut back. Wide zone, man, it's almost a whole field. You're gonna wide zone it to the, if you're in the bound, you're gonna wide zone to the, you can go all the way to the fucking numbers, or you can come all the way back to the hash that the ball was snapped on. But your path is to the outside hip of the tight of the tackle. So that's the difference. There's really not, it's not a drastic change, man. The wide zone requires a running back with good vision. The inside zone doesn't necessarily have to have great vision. They just have to have good vision. Wide zone has to be a guy who can press the hole under control, has vision. He can see a little sliver of daylight, and boom, one cut, he's downhill. That's wide zone. So I hope I've cleared that up. We were at 10 o'clock. Anybody else have any questions? Because if not, we can get close to getting up out of here. But here, I'm going to tell you this. Is that I think, I appreciate that, Lake Dog. I think this is the, appreciate that, Ann. I think this is the game where it all clicks. I think this is the game we hang up a 5-piece on them. I think we beat, look, Vanderbilt scored 38 points on them last week. We hang 40-something at minimum. I think we hang a 5-piece on them. I think we come in this week. I think getting all those guys back, getting the crew back together. Because remember, Horsey didn't play left tackle the first game. Getting that crew back together with Manning, with Cox, with Yager, with Flax and Horsey. I think this is the time it all clicks. And I needed to click so we can go to the Grove and kick Ole Miss ass. So I think the score is going to be like 52-10, 52-13. Scott Gregory says, Buys defense. I hope you're saying NIU. Yeah, NIU defense is not very good. Okay, A-Dot. I'm gonna have to pass that along to Aunt B. And right, can we find? Yes, that's hopefully this will be it. And hopefully we can. So that's all I got. Go over to YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, make comments, share the YouTube video to Twitter, do all that. I appreciate you guys watching, and we will have Aunt B back next week. And that's all I got. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week.